Bless you, brothers and sisters. Peace upon you. Um, Today, I just want to continue the topic I was doing about intercommunication skills. So, basically, about communication and human relations. How do we communicate with each other? Because in all our daily life, we are communicating in many ways. Yeah, whether in our businesses, at our work, at church, in the market area, in the neighborhood, even with our children. So we had very different lovely topics. We talked about interpersonal skills and how our skills can have influence positively or negatively, non-verbal cues. So we should learn also to be nice, to be happy, to be smiling, and sometimes also discreet, yeah, and also getting to know people and know how they are and how to deal with them so that we avoid conflicts. So one of the main things also that was discussed as we are doing this topic was conflict resolution. And actually, conflict resolution is a big thing because sometimes we misunderstand each other. It could be based on the culture, our upbringing, the environment we came from. So uh, conflict resolution is a big thing. And some people are extrovert, some people are introvert, some people will keep their problems in them instead of telling you, and then they are smiling. But sometimes it's also because they don't have enough vocabulary or to articulate properly or to be clear or how to talk to you. Some are afraid to offend. So it's a very difficult place. But if we can understand what conflict is and how we can resolve it, it's very good. So the conflict is not a problem, but how do we resolve? Because at the end of the day, we want peace, we want harmony. Yeah, we want a balance. So our main verse was Ephesians chapter 4 because there's a lot in there. But today I'm basing on the 28 to 30. So I'll read Ephesians 4 28 to 30. It said, let him that stole still no more, but rather let him labor, working with his hands, that which is good, that he will have to give to them that need. 29. Let no corrupt communication come out of your mouth, but let it be that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearer. So let your talking be good, let it be necessary, let it be timely, let it be concise, let it be clear, let it be correct, and be cautious with the selection of your word. Some people are so short-tempered, they will use a word that will break you. So let's learn to grow in picking the right vocabulary because things can be said in different ways. Our tones, our body language. Learn to smile, learn to wave, learn also to give people their interpersonal space. Yeah, so we need to give people space. If somebody is not too close to you, don't go rubbing on them. Learn and also male or female, depending on also people cultural or religious values. Yeah, so we have to know how not to cross the line, and when we do, we apologize. So today I want to be talking mainly the conflict resolution is a very good thing. It can be for positive and negative. And if you have a pure mind, and as the Bible says, we shouldn't grieve the Holy Spirit. Don't let your emotions rule you. Somebody might even wrong you or do wrong. Clear your emotion, have a good heart towards them, and then you know how to deal with them. And sometimes you can approach at the right time, tell them what you don't didn't like. And sometimes it's not needed. Just changing an attitude or knowing how to play back decently can be nice. Sometimes we can even criticize positively and nicely. So today I want to talk more about feedback. Yeah, feedback. So concluding interpersonal communication, conflict resolution. Yeah. So we've known that with communication, we need to have respect. We need to give people time. Also, we have to consider that some people are dyslexic. Some people have got autism. Some people you will not see, but there's a degree of slowness in the mind. That is who they are. So not too much 10 at a time, one word at a time. And sometimes so we have to know the character traits of people. Some are not very conversative. Keep it to bullet points. Be clear. Don't talk too much around them. Give them space or give them a written note or send them a text message or send them an audio visual something. Yeah, so know the talkatives. Some of us, we leave us like an hour or two, or we can just on and on and on. But we've also learned and we grow. You know who you can do that with, you know who you cannot do that with. So today we'll be talking about feedback. Why do we need feedback? Because mostly some people don't like feedback, but I've realized that if you are one who is open for feedback, is good. But how do we give feedback not to break somebody? Because sometimes we give the feedback and it's so bad, and you can break somebody and limit them in the good thing that they are doing. So we have to learn, even when giving negative feedback, because sometimes there's nothing you can do, it's negative. But start with the person friendly, win the friendship, compliment the good things that they have, because everybody have something nice. Compliment even how they look, and be nice, and find a psychological conversative way to say, oh, this thing wasn't nah. But if it's a business relationship, then of course it's business. It's not there, even that one can be done with respect, but sometimes things have to be said as it is, but with respect. How do you say it professionally? And sometimes we don't get professional. When emotion is attached to it, especially women, sometimes we can be so emotional depending on the cycle of the man. But let's also understand that as women, that is who we are. Sometimes we are just emotional beings. So let's not be too critical. Let's hold each other up. Let's correct each other. Let's pray for each other. If you think the feedback you give will break your brother, studying them and seeing their emotional status, please be wise. Maybe you can be an example to help them. So let's ask God for wisdom. Let's use understanding and knowledge. It's not because it's feedback, so I still have to give feedback. Sometimes don't even give the feedback, a body language, or so God help us and give us understanding to build each other up and not to break each other, because feedback is supposed to help us learn, help us grow. If it's good feedback, we build on it, we grow. If it's negative feedback, we look at the areas that we haven't gone well and we can help each other. Sometimes it can be just a vocabulary. So let's not put people together with what they have done. That can also be an error, because sometimes people are good to us, So let's go on the feedback. So don't forget, reading Ephesians chapter 4 is very loaded. It's powerful. Meditating on it and one by one, it's amazing. I mean, you can't go wrong if you will follow what Ephesians is telling you. And also with emotion wise, James chapter 3 is amazing. So we need to deal with our emotions. Some of us are emotionally wind. We can't forget things easily. Ask the Lord to help you. But also be wise, because in communication, some people, you can't please them. Be wise. Give them their space, because conflict resolution is also wisdom to be able to stay out of a trouble. Some people are free extrovert like me. You can say it as it is. We get angry, we argue it out, and that's it, because we can't keep it in there. But if you are like that, people think you are the bad one. But those who keep it in and don't talk, it's dangerous. Don't keep in toxic emotions. And this is why we have to learn to listen to people. So some people don't listen, especially if you have a friend or family or a partner who doesn't respect you, who won't listen to you. Especially in marriages, it can be worse. When one partner looks down upon you, they won't listen. That is a great disrespect. Even if somebody is not making sense or is not coherent, just listen and say, okay, I'll take it on board. You understand? Sometimes just by listening, or giving eye contact, or just keeping quiet and giving a nod, make somebody feel important sometimes, because some people don't have interpersonal skills at all. They have no respect, no understanding, no empathy. Sometimes put yourself in somebody's shoes. You might not agree with them, but somebody said you can agree and disagree. And sometimes you can just agree depending what it is. Sometimes it's not a big deal. And even if it is, keep your distance, okay? So, human relation is a big thing when it comes to communication. But one golden rule is treat others the way you want to be treated. So, respect, okay? These days, I don't even like using love. Respect. Because it's like people are fake these days. Most people are fake. We don't know. It's like we don't know what real love is. If you want to real love, research what agape love is. So you don't love people because of what you get from them, but you love them because they are God's creation. They are human beings. So that is my opinion, okay? So mutual respect is important here. So feedback. I had a note on feedback. So we have concrete feedback, constructive feedback, we have negative feedback, we have positive feedback. It's also a very big topic. So feedback Yeah, you can do it encouragingly, conversationally, and also with our children, those of us who are mothers. Let's give them feedback. Let's conversate with them. Let's tell them life issues. Let's explain to them. Let's show them consequences of actions and attitude, because sometimes they don't know. So you can bring a conversation, bring a scenario. Oh, see how this person ended, and see. Or sometimes you can let them to watch short clips, how somebody was rude and how it ended up that whoever they were rude to could have helped them if they were humble. So sometimes there are different ways, interpersonal skills, and also helping them to choose the right word, the right attitude. Because sometimes we all don't know, even we adults, we are still learning to communicate. So feedback, what is feedback? How can we give positive and negative feedback? What is constructive feedback? How can we give somebody a feedback and not break them, but encourage them to move on? So, thank you for listening. And we will keep discussing about this communication thing. So, today we're leaving it to feedback. What feedback is? Yeah, you can write it, you can send a message, you can go to the person and speak to them, but know when. Let it be timely, let it be needed. Sometimes it's not even necessary, but if it's something that is needed to build a church or build a company or build a family, sometimes we need to have meetings and talk. Just let everybody feel free and say what they think. So it's also a hard thing, yeah, to keep the communication line clear. It's not easy, because sometimes it's amazing how much you can learn when it comes to communication. So let's all help ourselves, because communication can avoid a lot of conflict. Yeah, so clearing and bringing understanding. If somebody know who you are and understand you and understand your cultural background, they'll give you respect for who you are and not look down upon you. So God bless you. Shalom.